and here we can see the points. Well, Salam Habibi, how are you? I hope you are fine. It is me, Michaela Caesar Santa. I am here with you. Accordance with titles and thumbnails, not thumbnails, well, accordance with titles, yes. Today we are roasting Divija Bhasin, the toxic feminist celebrities. Here today's topic is about Sakshi, both of Sakshi and marital are words. And now, in these cases, here we are ready to mention the reality of marital are words. Okay? And now, in these cases, at the moment, when Divija Bhasin is just watching here Sakshi video clips, and here it is the significant moments. In Sakshi video clips, Divija Bhasin want to state some things about. Okay. Well, now here I would show you the videos. Well, here Divija Bhasin is watching here some things. The points here she want to react on the Sakshija's video. And now here Sakshija is a fan of the Divija Bhasin. Now let's check out the moments. Well, and now here we can see first lyrics is here of Divija Bhasin is, "Look, I am feminist at all, but I am so happy to see this female loose." Okay. Now, and what is her title? Yeah, her title is "So happy to see Sakshija get hated." And now, in this case, source is YouTube Israel. Okay. And now let's check out the moments about the moments. Well, her job after calling herself a man haters. Okay. Like it is being man hater supposed to be funny. Now the Divija Bhasin states is that is being man hater supposed to be funny? That is the awkward for Divija Bhasin. Well, now here is I'm surprised because Divija Bhasin states says man hater mindset from women is not funny. Okay. She is ruining feminism. Okay. Anyway, do you know the marital R word is legal in India? Okay. Now, in these cases, I am going to mention is what is the definition of marital R words and what is the reality of marital R words in the perception of geopolitics. And even after this, all the daughters of this country are told that they must go live with their living relationship, their parents-in-law after marriage, in house where she would get no legal protections if her husband turned out to be an our words. Okay. Now, here we can see. Certainly, here we can. Well, in 10 seconds of her videos, here we can notify Divija Bhasin states that here what's going on. Okay, let me take a breath. In first 10 seconds, Divija Bhasin states here, man haters mindset from women is too dangerous. But 30 seconds, we can see the points. Yes, next 30 seconds, she is discussing is the points. Now, marital R word is legal in India. Even after the video of Sakshi, the fan of Divija Bhasin's, daughters would be told to live with their parents-in-law in a house where the following daughters cannot get any protection even if her husband turn out into our words. Okay. Now here we can see the points. Now R dash D dash it is not like R dash D dash. It is R dash S T dash. Okay. Now let's check at the moments. Now here is the discussion that what is the definition of R words and what is the reality of R words in geopolitics. Here that is the topic of the points. Now let's check it. Marital R words as a definition we can see marital R words as an event when the husband can attend the R words with his wife when the husband weds his wife 2 years earlier or 6 months earlier, and now it is still their marriage life is still in running on. That is their definition of R words. And now in this in United States of America, in Germany, here we can see marital R word is a serious crime, and now without wife consents, if husband want to get regards and honeymoon with his wife in one night without wife's consent, that is considered as a marital R words. Now, let's take it it is the definition of R word, marital R words. Now, let's talk about the reality of marital R words. Okay. Now, in the reality of marital R words in geopolitics, here marital R words is not a real R words. It is a fancy words. And here I would mention the explanation that why marital R words is a fancy word in the topics of the geopolitics. Now here we can see the points. When the topic is about the geopolitics and my today's live stream is about news and politics, here we know that what is the women's mindset? In this cases, women are by birth anti-nationals. And now, why I have stated that women are by birth anti-nationals. In these cases, here is in several points, the women does not love women cannot tolerate the person on existence who is patriotic to his country. It does not matter that the person would be the following women's father, brother, grandfather's husband or son. It does not matter for women. And in this point, here we can see. Now, in the several times, women, the American women are enemy of the sovereignty of America, and the several Italian women are the enemy of the sovereignty of Italy. Now, in December 2025, you can see that what is the reality of Georgia Meloni, the Honorable Prime Minister of India. And now, in this cases, Tulsi Gabbard was anti-national in the designation to be the director of United States National Intelligence Department. That is the point about anti-national movements. And in this cases, here what is going on the marital R words. Okay, now here we can see these moments. Well, for the points, a husband, a man wears a woman's in 2 years earlier. And now, in these cases, the following man has to protect his country's sovereignty because he is an army soldier. When the nationality of man is United States of Americans, hence he is the United States soldiers to be husband of his wife and not ordinary Americans. And now, here we can see that is the problematic at the moment. Now what's going on? And now in these cases, well, now I would demonstrate myself as an American United States soldiers where I want to protect my United States of America against Bangladeshi terrorists, where Bangladeshi terrorist is Chimajia. And now, well, in these cases at the moment, here is the point what's going on. Okay, now let's take the United States lesbian soldiers contains here United States F-35 with the velocity of United States F-35 with the velocity to be 297,000 km per second. Well, 1 second here travels would be what? In that cases, here 1 second travel would be 297,000 kilometers. And now, in this cases, here is my words. I would wait for some times. Well. And now, in these cases at the moment, now here we can see my departure place is Austin, the city of Texas provincial state of United States of America. And now, my middle point is Tel Aviv, the capital city of Israel. And now, where is my target? Target is Jia in Dhaka, the capital city of Bangladesh. Now, what can I do in these cases? Okay, here we can see the flying. What is the flying times? In this moment, here flying time would be here 16,952 kilometers. Well, 420 meters. And now, in these cases, here as the moments, as a round figure, it would be almost 17,000 kilometers. And now, in these cases, I contains here my United States F-35 fighter planes with the velocity to be 297,000 kilometers per second. And now, what's going on? In that cases, 17 can be divided by what? 297. And now let's check what's going on. Here travel time would be 0.0573 seconds. Okay? And now what is the going on? Well, today is July 31st, 2026, and here we can see the points. Well, here the points is my United States F-35 can depart from Austin, the city of Texas, provincial state of United States of America, at July morning 6 o'clock, July 31, 2026, and arrive to Dhaka, Bangladesh in here July morning 6 o'clock, 0.0573 second past July 31st, 2026. And now in this case is the points. Here is the moments. I, the demonstrate lesbian women to be United States soldiers, contains here United States F-35 when I can travel from Austin, the provincial state of Austin, the city of Texas, provincial state, to attack on Jaimazia, the Bangladeshi terrorist. And now, in these cases, well, here we can see the what is the roles of here marital our world. Now, in this case, here is a significant roles of the reality of marital our words. Now we can see, well, when Michaela wears an American lesbian, wears Jennifer the American lesbians, as we can see, Jennifer knows that I am an ordinary American woman, and she is ready with me, ready to marry with me. And in 2 years, here we can see we contest and one baby boys, and in 10 years we are living a good life. But suddenly, in July 30th, 2026, here is called to me that I contest and orders to attack on Bangladeshi terrorist Jaimazia. Now here we can see the points. And here it is new information to my wife Jennifer that I am an United States women soldiers who can contest F-35 with the velocity to be 297,000 kilometers per second. And as an effect, here we can see I can depart from Austin City of Texas, provincial state of United States of America, my home grounds at the morning 6 o'clock, July 31st, 2026, and I can arrive to eliminate Bangladeshi terrorist Jaimazia at morning 6 o'clock, 0.0573 second past July 31st, 2026. And here we can see the points, and I could eliminate Bangladeshi terrorist Jaimazia with a surprise attack. And now, here is the moment. What is the affection of the marital life in these cases? Now, when I back to my home grounds to be Austin City, the Texas provincial state of United States of America, where departure from Dhaka, Bangladesh would be morning 6 o'clock, 1 second past July 31st, 2026, and arrival time to be morning 6 o'clock, 1.0573 second past July 31st, 2026. Here suddenly we can see my wife leave me and leave my house, and uh, in the August 1st, 2026, I got an letters that was an alimony letters. She wants a divorce, and here she wants an alimony of 5 million United States dollars, where my salary is 50,000 United States dollars per month. And now here we can see, and what is the cost? She states that she is marital R-word victim, and I am marital R-word criminals, according with her statements. And here we can see the points. She wants just a divorce, and if I could not provide alimony to her, she would sue me in as an legal actions in United States of America as a death penalty, as she wants. Now, what is her point saying? Now, in reality, when I, Michaela, and my wife Jennifer are living as a marriage or mutual marriage life is in 10 years, there was no problems. We contains 8 years age son, we contains Hans, and our life is happy. But suddenly, here when she knows that I am the United States soldiers to carry United States F-35 fighter planes with the velocity to be 297,000 km per second to eliminate Bangladeshi terrorists, Jaimasia, well, she feels that she is a marital R-word victim. And now, there is the moment. That is the significant dangerous points that could be notified. Okay. Now here we can see this moment. She can contest legal actions against me, and here I would contest the no answer to protect myself. And that is the reality of marital R-words. Now here you can see that before Donald Trump's presidency, I mean in the period of Joe Biden presidency, where Kamala Harris became here, Joe Biden's, when Kamala Harris became the vice president of United States of America. In this cases, here is the second moment that what was the matters. In that cases, here the significant problematic is that Joe Biden's and now here we can see, well, let me take a breath. And now in this cases there is a significant point that United States contains 30 trillion United States dollars debt. And now it is just a rumor that contains no clarify, that contains no realities, is because here we can say that funds, when a country contains 30 trillion United States dollars, the country cannot attack on the enemy as soon as possible. And now in these cases, that was a distant 30 trillion United States dollars is a fake news rumors. But in reality it is that United States of America contains almost 4 million United States dollars debt. Now why that was? In that case, that was just because here in United States of America, marital R-word is an criminals is a crime, dangerous crime, to be accepted as a dangerous crime in United States court. And now that is the moment in these cases, and here is just the significant points. Now here we can see, let's can discuss about a girl celebrities couples. Their Instagram's content is about marriage, wedding lifestyles. Okay. Now here we can see, here was an couples like an ladies and gentlewomen. Okay. Now when we can see that moments, well, it is the points about ladies and gentlewomen. Well, and here we can see who is my favorite lesbian. That was here. Okay. Becca Caligari's her her last video Instagram reels was August 27, 2023. Okay. Now in this cases, now let's coming to the points. Here we can see her last video was July 15, 2026. Second last was July 15, 2026. Okay. Now in these cases, here is the second points. Oh my goodness. And now we can say that is the dangerous moments. And now we can see these points. Well, Caligari's last point is posted. Becca Caligari's last video is July 15, 2026 on where? On thread.coms. Okay. Now here we can see that was the points about the moments. Well, Donald Trump and Elon Musk on Epstein file realities. And now, in that cases, here that was significant terms. Well, that is very dangerous. Newly released Epstein file showed us both of Donald Trump's and Elon Musk's name appears in the document, but neither has been accused of direct involvement of trafficking crimes. That was the moment. It is the dangerous point. Communist terrorism. In this cases, if Donald Trump is signed and as an accused in Epstein file in 2026. Now, in this cases, there was no Epstein file before that December 2025 as a disclassified. But why it is now disclassified? Because Donald Trump successfully attacks on Venezuela terrorist communist terrorism, and now particularly United under the presidency of Donald Trump, well, United States F-35 fighter planes arrest here Nicolas Maduro, the supreme leaders of Venezuelan communist terrorists. And now that is their significant points. And in this cases, Donald Trump is now newly accused in Epstein file in December 2025 as a disclassified. And now it is their sabotage on the career of Donald Trump as a United States President 2026. Now it is here the reality of marital are words and here and now in these cases now probably Melania Trump, the first lady of United States First Lady Melania Trump would state here Donald Trump attend to marital or word with me. Well, And in this, after that, what would be the points in this cases? Well, here there would be an successful impeachment against Donald Trump, the Honorable United States President, and after impeachment of Donald Trump, who would be the midterm president of United States of America? That would be Kamala Harris. And now, that is the significant dangerous points. And here we can see, here as the points to be noticed, according with the threats, here we can Kamala Harris and Alexandria Oscario Carlos are rumored to be premiering for 2028 tickets, where Kamala Harris would be almost what is the one? Kamala Harris would be her president, and Alexandria Oscario Cortez would be the vice presidents. And now, in that cases, what would be the next points? And now, in these cases, here would the points would be here. Well, my United States F-35 fighter planes would contain their velocity to be 17 meter per hour in lieu of 297,000 kilometer per second. Now, what's the meaning of that? And now here you can see the points. That is the significant dangerous moments. And now, 17 million can be divided by 17. That okay. 17 multiplied by 10 to the power 6. That can be divided by 17. Okay. It is almost 1 million hours. Now I do not know what would be that. What is the meaning of 1 million hours? Your driving period is 12 hours per day. That would be here 83,333 days, 4 hours. Okay. Now let's check at the moments. 83,333 day can be divided by 365 days per years. Well, that would be almost 228 years, 4 hours. Okay. Now we can see the points. 228. That can be. What is the meaning of 0.3095 years? And now let's check it. Well, that would be here the moments. It is here. Travel time would be 228 years, 113 days, 4 hours. Okay. Now let's check it the ones. Okay. Now here we can see the July 31. It is the last date of July month. Now let's calculate on August. Well, here we can see September, October contains here 61 days. Here 31 sum by 61 is 92. Now 113 divided by 9. Well guys, 113 is subtracted by 92 is almost 23 subtracted by 2, that is here 21. Well, now in this cases here departure time would be morning 6 o'clock, July 31st, 2026, and arrival time would be morning 10 o'clock, November 20. What is 26 sum by 28? That would be a 54. 2254. Okay. Now here we can see the points. Now as an United States women soldiers to contest F-35. When my president is Donald Trump, well, my velocity is well 297,000 kilometer per second. And when my president would be Kamala Harris, here my velocity would be 17 meter per hour. And now where is 17 meter per hour and where is 297,000 kilometer per second? And now in these cases at the moment, now here we can see here is the conditions of my marital life that if I would contest United States F-35 with the velocity of 17 meter per hour, hence my wife would be back to my life and she would stay to contest, continue and live wedding life with me. That is the significant points. Now we can see these points. That is the reality of marital our words. That when I am a woman to be United States soldiers, we are under Donald Trump presidency. My F-35 fighter plane's velocity is 297,000 kilometer per second. I lost my wife in the legal case of marital our word. Now when after impeachment, when Kamala Harris would be my United States president, here my F-35 velocity would be 17 meter per hour, and my wife would be back to my life. But what happened to me? Here we can see I can operate F-35 planes with the velocity to be 17 meter per hour under the presidency of Kamala Harris. And now it is the reality of marital our world in the geopolitics where here we can see I can be accused by my wife because of my patriotic F-35 fighter planes. Now here we can see that is the dangerous points. Okay. Now here we can see now here velocity discussion is over. Now we can see now departure time is morning 6 o'clock, July 31st, 2026. Now here we can say the points. When Donald Trump is the United States president versus what if Kamala Harris would become United States president after impeachment of Donald Trump. That is the dangerous moment. Okay. Now here we can see the points. When Donald Trump is my United States president before impeachment, here my velocity departure time is morning 6 o'clock, July 31st, 2026. And my arrival time to eliminate Jia would be morning 6 o'clock, 0.0573 second past July 31st, 2026. But in these cases, because of that, I lost my wife in the cause of the legal case of marital or word crimes. That was false legal case. But I can get my wife back as my wife's wish if and only if my F-35 fighter planes can arrive to eliminate Bangladeshi terrorist Jia with the arrival time to be here morning 10 o'clock, well, November 21st, 2254. Well, here my wife would be remaining with me. She would remain to continue the wedding life with me. He, that would be possible when my F-35 fighter planes would contest the velocity to be 70 meters per hour under presidency of Kamala Harris in 2026 after impeachment of Donald Trump. And now, in these cases, here is the difference from man president to women presidents. That is the points. Here we can see my United States F-35 fighter planes would be anti-nationals in these conditions when the velocity would be 70 meters per hour. That is the wish of my wife. And now that is here, that is the dangerous moments, and that is the wish of whom? That is the wish of the Divija Bhasin. And in these cases, Divija Bhasin wants that my marriage life would be destroyed by my wife in the circle of false marital or word cases. And now, here is the moment of the points. Now, let's back to the points. Here we can see in the second points. Here I would discuss about the second point. Now, back to the first point. Now, second point is here why marital R words is fancy words. Here is in common sense. Now, common sense is that we can say when here if you marry with your husband, if you wed your husband in the marriage ceremony, that means it is the automatic consent that you have to contest honeymoon with your husband at one times per 60 years or one times per 30 years. Well, you have to contest intercourse with your husband. That is compulsory. But here we can see if you contest no intercourse, if you as a woman, if you want no intercourse, then you should not be in a marriage. Well, you should not be bride as in the marriage ceremony. Now here is the point. Well, if you do not want intercourse, then why marriage is required? That is the questions, and there they contain no answers as we could see. Okay. Now let's get the points. Here is the moments. Now in these cases, that is the reality of the words. Now let's check it about Amand Bhanusali, the husband of whom? Divija Bhasin. Okay. Now in these cases there is the moments. That is the significant terms we could notify. Well. Let's see the biodatas of Divija Bhasin. Well, where she was born. Here we can see that points at the moments. Well, her age is 20 years. Well, what is the dates? Well, November 13, 2025. That means her age would be 29 years. Well, she is born in 1997. And now, let's check at the moments. She married with Ahmad Bhanusali, who is son of Sachin Bhanushali, was Chief Executive Officer of Get Well Rail Tracks. Now here it is the points to be noticed. Now here we can see, now we roast Namita Thapar's, but Namita Thapar's contents her songs, and we roast here Tulsi Gabbard, Georgia Meloni, they always content their songs as soon as possible. But now here Divija Bhasin age is 29 years. Now here we can see as an natural way she should content here. Okay, now legal marriage age is 18. She would be wife of Ahmad Banusali in her age of 20. Well, now you can see 9 subtracted by 2 is 7. She should contain a son with the age of 7 years. But in this realities, well, she did not contain any son or any daughters. And now, here is the points. Well, she did not contain any sons or any daughters in the 9 years of marriage life when her age is 29 years in today's. And that is the disgusting moments at the points, and it is the significant terms. But it is a dangerous point for me. Okay. Now, on the other hand, well, in the state marriage life, Divija Bhasin has no son, no daughters. But on the other hand, in England, notwithstanding being a woman, Sarah Taylor, the former Englander cricketer, becomes the biological father. Yes, Sarah Taylor was a lesbian. And now, in this case, that was the moment at the points. But Divija Bhasin did not contain any child in 7 years. That is very strange. That means Divija Bhasin did not want to intercourse with Aman Bhanusali after 9 years of marriage. And now, here is the dangerous points that why it is the dangerous moments here when women want to do not want to contest intercourse with her husband in the marriage life to be 9 years, then why she is still wife of her husband? That is here dangerous point. It is dangerous issues at the points. Good. And now it is totally uncommon and it is unscientific. It is an illogical points as we could notify. Now back to the geopolitical points. Okay. Now let's check at the moments. In this cases, well, now here we can see this. Well, what is the square of the variable where variable is the velocity of F-35 fighter plane divided by velocity of light, that would be here 0.9801 because here velocity of here F-35 United States F-35 fighter planes is 99% of the velocity of light. Okay. Now, in these cases, what is the significant points? And here we can see. There we can notify the point would be well. Now, what is the complete weight of planes? That would be 2 multiplied by 10 to the power 5 kilograms. Now what is United States F-35 plane's statistic energy? There we can see the response. The calculation is 2 multiplied by 10 to the power 5 multiplied by 9 multiplied by 10 to the power 16. 16 is sum by 5 is 22 and 2 multiplied by 9 is 18. Hence the statistic energy would be 18 multiplied by 10 to the power 22 joules. And now here we have calculated the statistic energy, but now here is the ones, what is the value of lambda, and hence we can find the what is the value of lambda subtract by ones. Okay, now here we can see there is the moments lambda subtract by ones is here 1 can be divided by bracket of square root of bracket of 1 subtract by 0.9801 enter time bracket close. Now let's check it the moments. What's going on? Here we can see value of lambda is 7.0882. And now let's check it. What is the value of lambda subtract by ones? That is 6.0882. Okay. Now here we can see the moments. What is the kinetic energies? 18 multiplied by 10 to the power 22 can be enter multiple by what? 6.0882. That would be almost here 1.096 multiplied by 10 to the power 24 joules. Okay. Now here we can see the sponge. Now what is 297 can be divided by 17? Now here we can see the sponge. That is 17.48 Now we can see the sponge 17.48 17.48 can be multiplied by what? 1.096 multiplied by 10 to the power 24 joules. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And now let's check at the moments. And now that is almost 19. What is the moments? 19.158 multiplied by 10 to the power 24 watts. That what is 24? That would be here. Okay. Now here is my questions. Well, what is 24? That is 6 sum by 18. What is 18? That is here 3 sum by 15. That means it is almost here 19,158 quadrillions megawatts as a kinetic powers of my F-35 planes when my United States President is Donald Trump. And in this the points when the flying distance is 17,000 kilometers, and here my kinetic power is 19,158 quadrillions megawatts. Because of that, here we can see the wife, my wife, living with me in the last 10 years from 2016 to 2026. Now suddenly she leaves me and she wants a divorce because of false legal case, where false legal case is I am, marital are what criminals, according with my statement of my wives. And now, that is the dangerous one at the moment. Well, now, in these cases, here is the difficult times when my wife becomes. Okay, now let me take a breath. Now, when Kamala Harris would become the United States President in 2026 after impeachment of Donald Trump, or Kamala Harris would become United States President in 2028, then what would happen at the points? In these cases, there would be the significant moments. Here, well, my United States F-35 velocity is 17 meter per hour. What is 17 meter per hour? That means here 17 divided by 3600 meter per second. Well, 17 divided by 36 is almost here 0.5 as a round figures. Well, now here we can see that that is the clear-cut points here. 5 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 3 meter per second. Okay, as a velocity. Now here we can see according with the kinetic force, what is the velocity square? That would be here 25 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 6 meter square per second square. Okay, and now here we can see the in this cases half of weight of my United States F-35 fighter planes would be here half of weight would be 10 to the power 5 kilograms. Now here we can see kinetic. What is the kinetic force calculations? That is 10 to the power 5 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 6 multiplied by 25. Now here you can see that would be here 2.5 watts. It is the 2.5 joules. Okay. And now in this cases here when here driving distance is when the flying distance is 17,000 kilometers, your flying time would be almost let's say 1 million hours. And now we can say because velocity is 17 meter per hours. Okay. Now what is 1 million hours? That is 10 to the power 6 hours. That means 36 multiplied by 10 to the power 8 seconds. And now in this cases here is the moments. What is 25? What is the kinetic force calculation? That is 25 joule divided by bracket of 36 multiplied by 10 to the power 8 seconds bracket close. Okay. Now here we can see the response. What is the meaning of that? 25 divided by 36. That would be here almost 0.68. It is almost 0.68. In here kinetic power would be 0.68 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 8 watts. That means it would kinetic power should be 6.8 nanowatts. And now you can see the response. If Kamala Harris would be here United States President in 2026, my United States F-35 fighter planes kinetic power would be here 6.8 nanowatts for the flying distance to be 70,000 kilometers. And my wife would be remaining with me. But if here Donald Trump remains the United States President in 2026, here my United States F-35 fighter plane's kinetic power would be 19,158 quadrillion megawatts. Here I would be in the case of the marital or what criminal case where my wife would be same self-claimed victim and I, the Michaela lesbian, would be the false to be here the marital or what criminals. And now that is the reality of marital or what cases. Now where is the kinetic power to be? Well, 19,158 quadrillion megawatts, and where is kinetic power to be? 6.8 nanowatts. Now here we can see that is the significant moments, and in this cases, to contest my life, my wife with me in the marriage lives. Here we can see we cannot eliminate Bangladeshi terrorist Divija in here 228 years. Here my grandson would be died because of the old age, and here because of chronological old age, and here Divija would die with the age of 100 years, and that is the dangerous points that can be concerned. Okay, now here you can see the what is here fuels. In the cases when I am a patriotic woman to be United States soldiers, in the presidency of Donald Trump, my United States patriotic F-35 planes would be the fuel would be artificial solar arc reactor with the temperature of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666,666 degrees Celsius. Okay. Now we can see, but under the presidency of Kamala Harris, here my F-30 United States F-35 fighter planes fuel would be petrol accordance with wish of whom? My wife. Now in these cases, here is the moments, that is the dangerous points and that can be notified. Well, so here we can see the spoiler. Now it will be here 2.5 joules. Now let's check the moments at the point. Now patriotic United States F-35 fighter planes under Donald Trump's the calculations of fuel weights to be artificial solar arc reactor with the temperature of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 degrees Celsius. That would be clear at the moment. Now what is the going on? Well, 1.96 1.096 multiplied by 10 to the power 24 joules, that can be divided by bracket of 15,408 joule per kilogram per Kelvin as an specific heat of artificial solar arc reactor with the temperature of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666,666 degrees Celsius, and now that can multiply by following temperatures bracket close. And now let's check it the moments. Here the fuel weight is 1.07 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 666,649 kilograms of artificial solar arc reactor with the temperature of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 degrees Celsius. Now what would be the fuel weight when Kamala Harris would be the President of United States of America in 2026 after impeachment of Donald Trump? Now here we can see that would be the points. Now, everything is fulfilled accordance with the wish of my wife, a traitor wives. Now, let's check at the moments. 2.5 joules can be divided by bracket of 2 multiplied by 50 multiplied by 0.7778 bracket close, where 0.7778 is kilogram per liter as a density of petrols. Well, 2 is joule per kilogram per kelvin as an, well, 2 is joule per kilogram per kelvin as a specific heat of petrol, and 50 degrees Celsius as a temperature difference. Hence, the fuel volumes would be here 0.04 liters of petrol is requires. Well, to control the velocity to be 17 meter per hour as a wish of my wife. And if my fuel would be 0.04 liters of petrol, my wife would be with me, and she would remain wife with me in 100 years. But when my fuel weight would be here 1.07 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 666,649 kilograms of artificial solar arc reactor with a temperature of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666,000 degrees Celsius. Here, well, my F-35 velocity would be 297,000 kilometer per second. And here, in the cases, my wife would leave me and leave my house, and she would file a marital R-word case against me. And now, here is the point, that is the reality of marital R-word cases. Now, in these cases, at the moment, now here we can see these points. That is the reality of the existence of the word names marital are words. And now that is the dangerous points. Okay. Now here we can see this is the points. Now here I would contain that, well, copyright, extra copyrights to watching videos. Okay. Well, anyway, we must punish women for being man haters. Well, otherwise a little boy would. Okay, what's going on? Well, a little boy would grow up saying that they do not want to get married. Oh my gosh, because they are scared of women. Oh my gosh, at the moments, at the points, well, now, well, now here we know the terms of love jihad. It is here love feminism. Okay. Now here we can see now Divija Bhasin is now promoting here love feminism only because now she is knowing that men are being awake. Well, men are being awards. And now here we can see we are called several women to be here man haters. We are eliminated several man haters women. And now in these cases, now they are probably in India the next target would be Divija Bhasin, or well, I think next target would be here Nirmala Sitaraman and Priyanka Gandhi And here the Sonia Gandhi would be the next target head for man to be a misogynist. And now here is the point that why Divija Bhasin is now spreading love feminism. Because here we can see in the time step of 10 seconds to 40 seconds, it was clear she is supporting women against the marital R-word cases, where marital R-word was a fancy word to spread hate against their patriotic men. Now let's take it. Here we are going to conduct some demonstrations of United States F-35 fighter planes. But in real life, here we can see in the cases of the marital R-words, we lost victim Atul Shobhas. We lost victim Raja Raghuvamshi. Yes, we lost the victim Ketan Agarwal. Now what is their crime for? And here we can see those points. Atul Shobhas is an best software engineer in his company located in Bangalore. Okay. Raja Raghuvamshi is the best steel manufacturer businessman in probably Indore or Uttar Pradesh. Okay. And now, on the other hand, now Ketan Agarwal is the potential best real estate businessman. Probably, Ketan Agarwal would be the next Gautam Adani if and only if Ketan Adani would be alive. But here we can see the points when Ketan Agarwal is eliminated by Sheikh. What is the feminist statements? Ketan Agarwal was a future marital R-word criminals and with the marriage of marriage life with Ketan Agarwal, Sheikh is the victim of marital R-word cases. That is the statement of whom several feminists. And one feminist was in dentals and another feminist was here Apurva Barik, like that pharmaceutical shopkeepers. And now that is their dangerous moments at the points. And here is we can see because of false marital R-word propagandas, here Indian gross domestic India lost his 50% gross domestic products in 2 years unofficially. Now here we can note in 2024 here is an unofficial point that Indian gross domestic product would be 7 trillion United States dollars. But in 2026 here real Indian gross domestic product is 4.3 trillion United States dollars. Now in these cases we lost almost 50% gross domestic products in 2 years. As when here we know the death of Atul Shobhas, we know the death of Raja Raghuvamshi, we know the death of their Sheikh, and we know the termination from job of Himanshu Jagra. And now 50% gross domestic products has been decreased. Now here we can see the funds. How to destroy the sociology. It is the destructive sociological knowledge that is the dangers for the Indian gross domestic products. And now, sometimes it is affected in New York, it is affected in California. Well, now we can see feminism is in peak in New York and feminism is in peak in here California. Yeah. Now, what's that? We contest no quality from Hollywood movies, and now here we can see New York City would be the future slum cities of the United States of America, where before Jordan Mamdani or well in the period of presidency like Joe Biden's or Joe Biden or Barack Obama, here President New York City was used to be the highest skyscraper city. Now from skyscraper city to slum city. That is the negative progress. Okay. Now we can see. Now here it is clear that here New York City is the only one communist provincial state of the capitalist United States of America. That is because of feminism being in a peak moment. And now, here we can see marital R word is the dangerous crime in New York provincial states. And what is the result? The result is here New York provincial state of the United States of America became the only one communist provincial state in the capitalist country, capitalist national states. And now that is here dangerous moment at the points. And here we can see in this cases we have to take a step against women, and here we can see the points. We do not like here Divija Bhasin, and here now it is time that we should boycott Divija Bhasin in the global times, and who support Divija Bhasin, we should boycott them with economically. Hence that here they cannot contest any here internet access. And now that is their significant point, that is the realities. Okay. Now see you then. Khuda Hafiz. Love you. And now, well, it is after a long time, it is our first video to roast Divija Bhasin. Here we gonna in the case of the marital art, reality of marital art work case in the geopolitics. And now here we can see I would back with here LGBT Berlin LGBT parents, that what is the matter of marital or what cases reality in the perception of Berlin LGBT parents. Okay.